How to do layering using a ballpoint pen. Welcome to the series How to Draw with a Ballpoint Pen Part 4. Let's start the video. What is layering? Repeatedly hatching the same area again and again until we achieve the required or desired shading level or darker shading is called layering. By using layering, we can create different shading levels such as lighter shading, medium shading, and darker shading. Layering can also help us create smooth shading, because repeatedly hatching the same area fills the small gaps between the lines, creates smoother shading. So if you want to know how to do layering in detail, watch the video completely. In the previous video, we learned about parallel hatching and cross hatching. Now let's see how to use parallel hatching and cross hatching for layering. First, parallel hatching. Here I have taken 10 square areas. For the first square, I hatched with closer lines in the direction shown by the arrow using a single layer. I used normal pressure for hatching. I didn't use lighter pressure and I didn't use higher pressure either. Consider this as layer 1. Next, we have to hatch the second square with 2 layers. As I explained in the previous video, in parallel hatching, the next layers should be hatched in the same direction as the first layer. Next, we have to hatch the third square with 3 layers in the same direction. Now, the fourth square should be hatched with 4 layers. Next, the fifth square with 5 layers. After that, the sixth square with 6 layers. In this way, we have to keep adding one extra layer to each square. As we keep adding one layer at a time, we can see the darkness gradually increasing. Since this is parallel hatching, no matter how many layers we add, all the layers should be hatched in the same direction. In the same way, the 7th square should be hatched with 7 layers, the 8th square with 8 layers,
the 9th square with 9 layers, and the 10th square with 10 layers. If we observe the squares from the 1st to the 10th, we can see 10 different shading levels from lighter to darker. Now, let's see how to do layering using cross-hatching. Again, I have taken 10 square areas. Just like we did with parallel hatching, we have to add one extra layer to each square while hatching. For the first square, I am hatching with close lines in the direction shown by the arrow. For the second square, we have to hatch in the directions shown by the arrows. Cross-hatching means hatching the layers in different directions so that they form cross lines. You don't have to hatch in exactly the directions I'm showing. You can hatch in any direction you are comfortable with. In the same way, the third square should be hatched with 3 layers. The fourth square with 4 layers. The fifth square with 5 layers. The sixth square with 6 layers. In this way, we have to keep hatching in different directions while adding more layers. Next, the 7th square should be hatched with 7 layers, the 8th square with 8 layers, the 9th square with 9 layers, and the 10th square with 10 layers. By using parallel hatching and cross hatching for layering, we have created 10 different shading levels. If you want, you can add 11 or 12 layers as well. But I achieved sufficiently darker shading with 10 layers, so I stopped there. Now, let's see how to use these different shading levels. Among these 10 different shading levels, the shading in the first and second squares can be used for lighter shading conditions. The shading in the 9th and 10th squares can be used for darker shading conditions. The shading in the middle, the 5th and 6th squares, can be used for medium shading conditions. The shading in the 3rd and 4th squares, which are between lighter and medium, can be used for shading conditions between lighter and medium. Similarly, the shading in the 7th and 8th squares, which are between medium and darker, can be used for shading conditions between medium and darker. In this way, when we use layering to shade a drawing, we can observe the different shading levels in the drawing and select the squares whose shading is closest to them and use that shading level for our drawing. That's it for this video. I hope you understood this video. In the next video, we will learn about the concept blending.
Thanks for watching.